Tonight, SD 57 Superintendent Jameel Aziz reflected on 2024 and what he wants to see in 2025. And 2024 saw a lot of change for the Spruce Kings. What's in store for the team going forward? Plus, the 38th annual Iceman was just announced, and you can register now. Good evening, I'm Tommy Osborne, and welcome to CKPG News. It has been a year of learning for the new superintendent of School District 57. Jameel Aziz arrived in Prince George in March of this year after a 4-month search. He came to the district with his eyes wide open and has some high aspirations to make public education the best he can. Cheryl Jan reports.
He has only been on the job for 8 months, but already Jameel Aziz has some high aspirations for School District 57.
I did my homework before I accepted the position, even before I applied for the position, honestly. And so I knew SD 57, I knew some of the staff here. You know, some of the staff are former students, some of the staff are colleagues from different organizations that I've belonged to. So I came in with my eyes open, and I certainly know that, we have to address some things moving forward.
And his focus so far for 2024 has been to learn what he calls the culture of a district, well beyond procedures and policies.
I did a 100-day survey, basically after my first 100 days with most of the people that I connect with, principal, vice principals, and board office staff, just to, number one, find out if the direction that I'm moving in was palatable for them. And it was anonymous, so I'm hoping that I got, fairly honest response. But there was a lot of feedback around things that really I hadn't asked about, and just that people really wanted to see us doing better.
He says District 57 has had its share of negative news of late, but moving forward, it's time to celebrate the district. But
at the same time, I know that we could be doing better. Again, we have paper-driven processes in central office here that I haven't seen for 20 years. I don't know why we are still using some of the systems that we use. And again, I don't even know that it's people are stuck in them. It's just that that's what they're used to. So we are having a whole lot of outside eyes come in, ask questions, showing us some other models.
And change takes time. In the meantime, it's Aziz's goal to ensure the aspirations of students are met to the best of the district's abilities.
And I really believe that public education is the great equalizer. Public education has done amazing things for me, amazing things for my family and for my own children, and I really want those experiences for every family that is part of SD 57. So if you have a dream, if you have a vision, I don't want the fact that, there was some obstacle in your way through the school system stopping you from pursuing whatever that might be.
But one of the biggest challenges to achieving that goal is one that plagues every district in the province: people.
I think the biggest ongoing challenge is just lack of staffing. And it's not an education issue. It's not even a provincial issue. This is a global issue. There just are shortages of qualified and willing staff pretty much in every sector. And so, when I began my teaching career, teaching jobs were hard to get.
He says 2025 will be a year of putting all the tools in place to make sure the educational experience in District 57 is the best it can be for students and families. Cheryl Jan, CKPG News.
The City of Prince George and the Prince George Humane Society have begun preparations for their new partnership to deliver animal shelter operations for the city. The Humane Society is in the process of moving into the city-owned animal shelter facility at 4011 Lansdowne Road, but will also keep its existing location on First Avenue, giving it more space. The Lansdowne Road building will be the community animal shelter that will handle stray animal intake, redemptions, and adoption services for both cats and dogs, while the First Avenue location will be the Cat Adoption and Humane Education Center. This partnership between the city and Humane Society will begin at the start of the new year and is a 5-year contract. BC Forests Minister Ravi Parmar says 2024 was a banner year for tree planting, as more than 280 million trees were planted in the province this year. This put the province over 2 billion trees planted since 2017. Parmar says 13 different native tree species were chosen in its effort to preserve ecosystems and prioritize characteristics including resilience to climate change. The province says the reforestation efforts were focused on fire-damaged areas as well as work done by forest tenure holders as part of their legal requirement to regenerate harvested area. The ministry says BC Timber Sales, which is responsible for managing vast areas of forested public land, has also supported local jobs, having issued about 40 tree planting contracts to small business operators in the province each year. The BC Conservative Party is taking aim at ICBC's no-fault insurance system after a BC resident shared her story of recovery. The party says Maria Espedito, a caregiver, was the victim of a devastating hit-and-run and has been left without a mechanism to receive fair compensation for her severe injuries, which includes damage to her lungs, liver, arm, and ribs. The party's ICBC critic Brent Chapman has challenged Premier David Eby to match or exceed his donation to fund Maria's recovery. The Conservatives say it's an example of why the government needs to revisit its no-fault insurance system and adopt a victim-first approach that prioritizes fairness and accountability. The lowest gas price in Prince George is $1.42.9 per litre at Costco. This also happens to be the lowest price in the province right now. Manitoba currently has the lowest gas prices in the country on average at $1.27.2 per litre. Meanwhile, BC has an average price of $1.64.8 per litre.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Feed your team tonight with a delicious mix and match combo. Chicken, pizza, pasta, or dessert for just $8.99 per item.
While the Spruce Kings have had a tumultuous 2024, to say the least, the front office and locker room are optimistic things can change in 2025. Jaden DeMello brings us more.
With only 2 games left before the new year, the Spruce Kings have won just 15 of 56 games in 2024.
It's been a bit of an inconsistent year. I think the group has kind of underperformed, underachieved a little bit. So we can take a bit of solace in that, knowing that this group is capable of better things.
While nobody in the organization is happy with how the year went, the players also believe they have the roster to turn it around.
It's been a little bit of ups and downs this year so far, but we got a good group here, and that's a big positive. We got that core group and just attitude and energy every day to the rink. It means a lot, even going through those downs, and kind of helps us elevate our game and kind of turn the corner.
I know we have a great group of guys. We have lots of talent on the ice, and right now we're just starting to piece a few things together, and hopefully from there we just keep going up.
The team has shown plenty of promise. It's just about putting it all together from the opening faceoff to the final buzzer.
It's a matter of them, learning, the ability to close games out and to play a solid 60 minutes. So, and I know they have the ability. The team is, I've been doing this a long time, and if the team just wasn't good enough, I would know they're not good enough. But the team is good enough. They just need to learn to change some of the things they're doing and play a full 60 minutes, and I think we'll be fine.
Once again, the players also echo the same message.
I'd say consistency. I feel like we have a really strong game, and then the next game we take a game off. But I feel like if we can really bring our consistency up, we'll be a whole new team coming into the second half of the season.
To improve the team moving forward, Mike Hawes has been very busy over the past month, adding 4 new players and making a few changes behind the bench.
The additions that we've made, the changes, obviously we brought in Colin Ray. He's going to solidify the goaltending position, and we've made some changes to the roster and a couple more coming, and I know that's going to help us. So I just think that the group is a group that they've come together well. They respect each other. They play hard for each other, and it's just a matter of them figuring out how to finish out hockey games.
Every change that we've made is just benefiting us. Brad knows what he's doing. Our new coach Taylor, he's awesome. So just building our group up. We're becoming closer every week.
The Kings will hope to finish out 2024 strong with a couple home games against the Clippers and turn things around in 2025. Jaden DeMello, CKPG News.
The U18 AAA Caribou Cougars played their final 2 regular season games of 2024 this past weekend, hosting the Thompson Blazers. Their first game on Saturday was the annual Teddy Bear Toss night, where Rylan Bissett scored the all-important first goal in the opening frame. Thanks to 2 goals and an assist from Jack Titsbury as well, the Cougars rolled to a 6-2 victory. And in Game 2, it looked even easier for the top team in the league, demolishing Thompson 10-2, with 7 different Caribou skaters finding the back of the net. Next up for the team, the prestigious Circle K tournament kicking off this Friday in Calgary. The 38th annual Prince George Iceman has been set for February 9th, 2025. The event combines cross-country skiing, running, skating, and swimming that is open everyone for age 10 and older. For registration info and more, check out pgiceman.ca or on social media pages at PG_Iceman. Registration is open until February 4th of the new year.
Prince George's Ultimate Winter Challenge. You've got a ski, a bunch of running, skating, and then swimming. So you start out at Caledonia Nordic. Adult teams are going to do a 8-kilometer ski, junior teams are going to do a 4-kilometer ski, and then you run from Caledonia Nordic to the outdoor ice oval. So you're going to skate a 5K if you're an adult team, 3K if you're a junior team, and then you're going to run throughout the neighborhood just beside the oval to the aquatic center where you're going to do your swim. We've got junior teams, school teams, adult teams, and then there are people who do it all by themselves. It only grows every year, which is awesome. I feel like we're seeing more junior teams, lots of school teams, which is always fantastic, getting those younger athletes involved. We have people from Smithers, Terrace, Quesnel come into town for this event in particular.
The TSX went up 150 points to close at 24,759. The Dow Jones went up 67 points to close at 42,907. And Canfor went down 5 cents to close at $14.74.
Good evening, everybody. We do have a system starting to move in from the coast. That's what we're really tracking here on this Christmas week as we move towards Christmas Eve tomorrow and then Christmas Day on Wednesday. The system off the coast really not going to affect us much here in the Prince George area till likely Thursday, Friday, Saturday, at which chance it will be bringing some precipitation, but due to temperatures, we do expect that to actually be rain showers and not more snow here in the area. So as you look at the future cast over the next 48 hours, you begin to see this starting to form. It again will hit us a little bit more, at least fulsomely, as we approach the later stages of this week and into our final weekend of 2024. So some highs for tomorrow across BC. Kamloops hitting 9, Vancouver 10, Victoria 11. Unseasonably warm across the area, including 6 degrees for us here in Prince George with some of those rain showers coming through. Here in the broadcast region, McBride at 5, Quesnel 7, 6 degrees in Prince George, 5 in Vanderhoof, 1 in Burns Lake. They have a chance of potentially seeing some snow. Fort St. James at 3 and Mackenzie 2 degrees for them on Tuesday. Across the country, take you quickly. BC certainly the place to be. It's where the most warmth is, 10 in Vancouver, and then you start hitting the negative temperatures, -2 in Regina, -2 in Winnipeg, 2 degrees on the plus side for Toronto, -6 in Montreal, and -6 over in St. John's. So as we look a little later into the week, there's that system that we're watching a little bit more closely. It's going to bring a chance of precipitation. It's only 30-40% virtually across the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even a little bit Thursday as well. So maybe you want to keep your rain jacket out, but like we said, it should be rain and not actually snow, which is of course unusual. So extended forecast here for Burns Lake, -5 tonight, 1 degree tomorrow. And as we extend out for your Christmas, 1 degree, 80% chance of some morning snow, potentially some rain, depends where that temperature falls. Boxing Day, Thursday, 1 degree above. Into Mackenzie, -4 tonight, 2 degrees tomorrow, 1 degree on Christmas Day with an 84% chance of that snow, possible rain mix. 2 degrees and some sunshine for you on Thursday before you hit 1 on Friday. McBride, -7 tonight, 5 degrees tomorrow, 1 degree, chance of potentially some snow on Christmas for McBride before the sunshine starts coming through on Thursday and Friday. Into Quesnel, 0 degrees tonight, 7 degrees, and some rain tomorrow. Chance of rain or possibly snow on Wednesday, depends exactly where you are in terms of altitude. 5 degrees, maybe 4 as well on to Thursday, then Friday 3 for them as they head into the weekend. heading the wrong direction. How about Prince George? -3 for us here tonight, 6 degrees tomorrow, 4 degrees, and a chance of some rain on Christmas. As we said, the temperature is just too high to allow any more snow to accumulate. Yes, snow on the ground, but as far as I'm concerned, not a true white Christmas unless it's falling from the sky, and we will not see that here in Prince George. 3 degrees on Thursday, and into your final weekend, 1, -1, and 0 is what we are set for.
CKPG Sports is delivered by Domino's. Feed your team tonight with a delicious mix and match combo. Chicken, pizza, pasta, or dessert for just $8.99 per item.
Welcome back to CKPG News, and Jaden DeMello joins us. Thanks for coming on, Jaden. Because as you know, of course, all the hockey fans know, last day of regular season action before Christmas. So we want to look through a lot of the storylines of the year. There's been a lot going on. Let's start with one of Prince George's favorite teams, the Canucks. Great run last year, but this year hasn't been maybe all that the Canucks want, especially I know there's some locker room drama going on as well. What's going on with the Canucks as we wrap up 2024?
Well, most Canucks fans already know there's a big riff, or what it seems like to be a riff, between JT Miller and Elias Pettersson. And I know they just came out to the media recently and were saying there's no issues at all. Any Canadian market, there's going to be lots of talk. The media is absolutely crazy around them, but it's in the numbers. You look at a guy like Elias Pettersson, he's got 15 points in the 10 games that JT Miller was away from the team this year, and he's got... and he's struggling in the 29 games with him there, 13 points. He's just not the same guy. We saw him struggle in the playoffs as well. And the Canucks, they just haven't shown consistency lately. They haven't got 2 wins, or more than 2 wins in a row since November 7th. And it's kind of starting to seem like this is maybe closer to the team that we saw 2 seasons ago instead of last season. Obviously, last season they surprised everybody by making the deep run, almost beating the Edmonton Oilers before they go on that deep playoff run. Let's not forget, they were in the Connor Bedard sweepstakes, and I know there's been some breakout players. Their depth has been good this season, but just the top guys haven't shown it. And in net, you look at a guy like Kevin Lankinen, comes in, and he's a great pickup. But he's not playing well right now either. 5 goals against and 22 shots in his last game. Demko's still getting his feet under him. And then Shilovs is just not what we saw in the playoffs last year.
And so the Canucks, as you just mentioned, not as good as perhaps half of Prince George would like. But the other half of Prince George, Edmonton Oilers fans, almost identical to last season. Last season, they started off really slow. There's a lot of concern, and boom, they make it to the Stanley Cup Finals. This year seems to sort of be a mirror of that. It seems like the Oilers have returned to form, or looking like Stanley Cup champions, Stanley Cup contenders, I should say.
Yeah, pretty close. They're not quite at the bottom of the league, or have been this year like they were last year, but they started under 500 through their first 14 games, and they've just been an absolutely different team over the past 20 games, 15-4-1. I'll give you a little stat here. So Connor McDavid, seeing him in the NHL and being under a point per game is absolutely insane. Well, that was him through the first 11 games, just 10 points. And then look at a few guys, few Canadian guys that maybe would have thought they would have made the Four Nations face-off team. Look at Zach Hyman. He started terribly compared to his 50-goal-plus season last year. 3 goals in just 19 games. Well, the last 10, he's got 10, a goal per game. So he's heating up and really being a contributor for this team. Leon Draisaitl, I'm not worried about him. He keeps it up. But then Stuart Skinner, he's always been up and down. He's really picked it up over the past month and a half now and helped this Oilers team kind of stabilize, because they don't need a great goalie. They don't need a Shesterkin when he's at his best. They just need somebody who can be consistent, step up when they need to, like we saw in last year's playoffs, and they could go on another run just like last year and maybe win it all this year.
Well, I know Oilers fans are certainly enjoying that. Maybe, hopefully, for the other half of Prince George, that the Canucks ideally pick it up too, get more than 2 wins in a row. And, even a 3-game win streak would be pretty nice for the Canucks fans out there. But Jaden, thanks so much for joining us to talk about hockey. But I know that we have some more pro sports coming up in the CKP3. So what can we expect in the CKP3 tonight?
Yeah, well, CKP3, it's all NFL Sunday football action. We got a former fantasy RB1 having one of the best games of his career. You got Joe Burrow, one of the best quarterbacks this season. Team not so much, but another crazy play by him. So we'll take a look at those plays and one more. I'll leave that up to the video. The Colts were hosting the Titans and needed a win to stay alive in the playoff hunt.
Taylor trying to put it away all by himself. Taylor into the open field one more time. Jonathan Taylor having a day.
Taylor put the team on his back, rushing for 3 touchdowns and 218 yards, the most since his rookie season. Right there with them in the AFC playoff chase is the Bengals, and while they have a losing record, there's no question about the play of their QB.
Burrow, pocket collapses, Burrow stumbling and just masterfully gets it to Higgins. Just otherworldly from Burrow.
Burrow went completely vertical and somehow released the ball in time to open the scoring against the Browns. South of Cincinnati, the Commanders were looking to complete one of the biggest comebacks of the season.
Daniels fires, end zone, touchdown! Jamison Crowder, preposterous! 5 turnovers, and the lead with seconds remaining.
Thanks to a 5-touchdown performance from rookie Jaden Daniels, Washington came back from 13 down in the fourth quarter to snap the Eagles' 10-game win streak and wrap up tonight's CKP3.
The PG Humane Society has a 3-year-old orange cat that is looking to be adopted by a loving home. Sam Bedison has more on this week's Forever Friends.
There is a lot to love with this cat currently staying at the Prince George Humane Society. And I don't mean metaphorically, as Oscar loves lasagna and hates Mondays.
This is Oscar. He is a 3-year-old big boy. He's very sweet. He's pretty shy. He's got working on his diet.
Oscar was surrendered to the Humane Society as the previous owners struggled to manage his weight. But now on a diet, Oscar is shedding kilos.
He is down from 8.5 kilos to 7 kilos, so he's lost quite a bit of weight in the last couple of weeks, which is really good for him as he's been managing his diet in the home, but the owners unfortunately could no longer keep up with his dietary needs. And he is on medication because he is having trouble going to the bathroom, and that can be caused from the obesity as well.
Oscar is quite a shy cat who doesn't move around a whole lot, but he may come into his orange cat behavior as he loses weight. For now, make sure he can't fall off any high places.
We want to make sure that if he does get up onto things, that he has a safe way to get down so he's not jumping down because all that weight would go on his joints. So we want to make sure that his body is safe from falls or jumps that are great heights. And then just making sure that he's grooming as well, because he can't quite groom himself properly on the hind end. So sometimes you have to make sure that you're cleaning up for him.
If you would like to adopt Oscar, you can visit the PG Humane Society.
Oscar is doing really well. We just did another health exam on him, and he is, aside from his obesity, he is clear with his health, and he would love to go into a home.
Alternatively, if you're looking to find out if owning a pet will suit your lifestyle, Oscar is available to foster. Sam Benison, CKPG News.